So it is so obvious that holding NNAMDI KANU is no longer about anything they claim he did. It is pure, what do you call it? It is a pure disregard for what you can call fair trial, fair hearing, and a treatment that is pretty much similar to what even led to the agitation for Biafra in the first place. So we are going to continue from that this hour. So please, after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description as well. Like it, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, your frenemies, and tell them to join us. Maiyegun is live. This morning, Mazi NNAMDI KANU, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, appeared in court to probably see the unsealed report of the Nigerian Medical Association. Now, I don't want to take you back to how we got here, like the whole repetition, right? I could do that some other time under different circumstances, right? But this particular one is the continuation of what many have already judged and even like generally acknowledged as not prosecution, but persecution. So you have someone that you said has committed a crime. Your court said the way and manner you kidnapped him and brought him to Nigeria was wrong. That automatically delegitimized any effort of trying to try him in Nigerian court. But they insisted. The court said he should be released. No, they demanded to keep him. Now they have been using the same old tactics, which is to continue to delay the court, adjourn. Why are you adjourning again when 8 days given to this Nigeria Medical Association, right, was to report back after examining NNAMDI KANU, which they did, and it was reported that they have submitted this report. Then again, the rotten, corrupted system somehow compromised that. Everybody appeared in court today only to realize that, oh yeah, the NMA didn't file the report. What the heck? Why then did you actually call the court today? So they adjourn again. So this style is one of the reasons why SOWORE, who has been very, very consistent when it comes to this treatment of NNAMDI KANU. So he's made proposals severally. He's told people, especially the IPOB members, the Igbos, that the the best form of defense is attack. So if you occupy the seat of power in your sizable, like largest numbers, right? Whatever it is that they are cooking, planning, or been doing already, you have a chance of forcing their hands because they won't do it. The law won't do it. The court can't do it. Do you understand? So you have to possibly adopt the laughing with kind of a thing, right? However, a lot of people are also, somebody like myself, a lot of us are convinced the roles being played by the supposed political elite of Eastern Nigeria during the time that Mazi NNAMDI KANU, before his abduction the second time, right? And then prior to the first one as well, or should I say after the first one, right? So they realized this influence. And honestly speaking, if you are around that time, NNAMDI KANU's influence was pretty much intimidating, even for those who claim to have all the power, the security, the rest. They dreaded him so much that they felt like if he wasn't tamed, he had that kind of like power to order for their execution. All he has to do is just to give the order and say, yeah, do it. That's how much they dreaded him. So they ran to Bokuwari for cover, proscribed IPOB. So those who are behind the killings of the Igbos, those who are behind the proscription of IPOB, those who are sponsoring most of the propaganda that a lot of you are now very much used to today, they are more than 80% Igbo politicians. And that is why the way other people sort of like, without comparison, okay, without having to compare them, all right? When you see that of our own Oloye Sunday Igbo, you can still tell, even as much as the Yoruba governors were pretty much like neither here nor there, but they were still using their position to advocate for Igbo. Even Igbo himself admitted to that. So simply put, that somehow, right, behind the scene, you could still see the people within the Yoruba land to pull this or that. And Igbo is, partially free today than NNAMDI KANU. Now, in that same breath, by the way, we have seen the Ohaneze Ndigbo visited Bokwari several times. We have seen some Igbo governors claimed to have been in touch with Bokwari at the time, and nothing happened. Even when the trial started, the fake trial, to what it got to at the time, majority of them, right, automatically just like withdrawn. And somehow we believe that people like Devolumai, Oblessus Odingba, even Wiki, right, are among those who are pulling the levers to ensure that no NNAMDI KANU should not be released. Right? So if the Igbo governors, like SOWORE is proposing right now, Igbo governors, lawmakers, some of them, I won't say all of them, but I have seen the representative of his constituency who has made several appearances, attended court cases, tried it on several forums to push for his release. But SOWORE is proposing something different. Not so different, but yeah, different. Because according to him, holding NNAMDI KANU this long, it's no longer about what they told you. It's no longer about all of the media paid propagandas and lies. And yet, none of those things they have told you is presented in their courts as evidence against him, even in their own case. For those of us who have been monitoring that, right? So in everything that this guy is presented as why they are holding NNAMDI KANU, right? None of them indicated that the politically sponsored insecurity in the eastern part of Nigeria is linked to him. None of their court case or charges, or those bogus ones, none of them stated that NNAMDI KANU is linked to anything over there. You get me now? So, but they continue to hold him. So SOWORE is proposing that, I'll read it to you. So that we set aside my differences with some politicians for one cause. I challenge every politician or person of good conscience from the Southeast who says they want NNAMDI KANU released to stop the rhetoric. Time for action is now. Let's march to Aso Rock Villa. Every governor, senator, member of the House, traditional ruler, priest, Eze, Igbo person, and every Nigerian who believes in KANU's freedom, come out and do more than talk. I will lead this peaceful march to the Aso Rock. No more empty noise. Let Soludo, Abaribe, Oti, Obi, and all others who claim to care, that's SOWORE now, who claim to care, step up and join us in person. We go together peacefully, legally, and visibly to demand justice and an end to Mazi NNAMDI KANU's persecution. This is not a trial, it is persecution. Trial is when they are able to present clear accusations, right? Charges. And then when they present their witnesses, you have every right to confront the person who wants to witness like fake witnesses against you. You have the right to ask them questions, but no, they won't want that to happen. And even in their own court, they lost. So they had to order for a retrial. Let's do it again. And this time around, all the charges that they initially brought against him, they dropped all of that, cooked another one. And this another one, right? Trumped up as it is, they won't come to court. They want court adjournment every now and then. And I know some of you actually hated NNAMDI KANU so much that you wanted them to just kill him, right? So if they just want to kill him, they shouldn't pretend that they're having a court case. That they should do and come and tell everyone that, okay, we've killed him. You get what I mean now? So even you that want them to kill him, they have no, they don't even have any, what do you call it? Any evidence, right? To send, to give him a community service sentence, right? But they say, okay, man, we don't know what to sentence you for. But you know something, the way you spoke to the judge in one of those trials, right? It was unethical. It's disrespectful. So because of that, I'm going to convict you to 200 hours community service. Like these guys couldn't bring anything that will convict NNAMDI Kanu for a community service punishment. Not to talk of anything to hang him or kill him. Your criminal politicians who harmed their drug-addicted political options to push the insecurity level in the eastern part of Nigeria to what you have witnessed, even with them coming out to confess it. They couldn't go to their court and present it and say, here is the evidence, NNAMDI Kanu, we have this evidence against him. In their own court. They are relying on broadcasts like what I'm doing right now. It's just like somebody like me in the future, right? They kidnap me. I know I'm not worthy. I don't worth anything like that anyway, but I'm just saying that somebody like me now being kidnapped in the future and they say the reason why we want you to jail him or we want you to kill him is because he's been making videos and abusing our leaders and he's been talking things. He wanted people to fight their leaders. He wanted to cause problem in this place. I said, okay, where are the evidence of how he planned to do all of this, to attack your president, to cause unrest in your country? Where are the evidence? Go and watch his YouTube videos 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 16 years ago, and all of that stuff. Say, but no, we're talking about now. What did he do? What has he done? Bring the evidence. Nothing. But their media is awashed, right, with all kinds of lies that in reality you expect them to take all of those things to their own courts. It's your court. You can start the case in a week and end it in a week. The whole thing they are doing to NNAMDI Kanu. Are you with me? They can start the case on Monday and give judgment by Friday. And they can appeal that judgment the following week, right? And get judgment before the weekend. And if they have to go to Supreme Court in 3 months, they can do all these things they are doing to NNAMDI Kanu and conclude it. And everybody goes their separate ways. But the intention is not to try NNAMDI Kanu. It is to persecute him. It is to try and see that maybe if we crush him, right, we will discourage people, not just the Igbos, even from other parts of Nigeria. Because NNAMDI Kanu has become more or less like a contagion, right, where everybody was beginning to ask the question of Nigeria, the question about their existence and being part of Nigeria. A lot of people are beginning to say, you know what, that's true. This contraption is not made for us. Now, if that spirit continued in their mind, though, if NNAMDI Kanu is free, there is a chance that in 10 years' time, you may have more than 6-7 regions of Nigeria demanding for the breakup of Nigeria. Something they believe that by doing this, they will discourage anybody who wants to think of the, but they are wrong. There's something that led to all of this: the marginalization, the corruption, the impunity, the nepotism, the tribalism, the ethnicism, the religionism, all these things weaponized by criminal politicians in Nigeria, which has worked against the interest of the majority of Nigerians. Yeah. So as long as these things exist, continue to exist, there will be agitation for one thing or another. There are those that will pick up guns and say, you know what, give us a share of our resources or nobody takes our resources. There will be others that will kind of pick up guns and say, you know what, our own share is to, all kind of things will happen. If this marginalization, this corruption, this poverty continues, and they continue to romance it and continue to manage it, of course, there will be more, even after NNAMDI Kanu. How about they address what it is? Because I remember in June, when SOWORE tried to actually go to the one of the trial, and the DSS did all they could to stop him from gaining entrance, even though he himself had a case later that day in that same court, no, they won't let him get in, but he still said this. In case, what do you call it? Oh, hang on. Did I even put that up? Okay, give me a sec. Coming.
We should let you know. Nobody has asked you, nobody has asked you to get anything from any person. Our duty, section 4 is very clear. Protection of lives and property. Apprehension of offenders. Now, when the man who is tasked with the responsibility of protecting turns out to be the offender, are you not going to take up the offense? Please go and tell the personnel. Nobody has asked you to search for us. At a certain point, what are you asked to look for? Look for prohibited items, weapons, drugs. Such vehicles in a very cautious and polite manner without infringing on the rights of Nigerians. But the situation when you want to say that who's your guy? I'll show you who I am. Who are you? Do you know who I am? Who are you? We will not allow you make the people rise regulations. Rather, we will come after you. We have pleaded, we have told IT directives, but if you choose to be recalcitrant, that you will not obey simple instructions, that you should do your work in a very professional manner, then we'll bring the books against you. Their laws.
Sorry about that. I'll come back to that one. That's a commissioner of police somewhere discussing the professionalism of their police in searching the people and at the same time carrying out the order of their illegal general of police. SOWORE, sometimes in June, just at the bogus retrial of NNAMDI KANU in June. He had this to say.
Very excited to be here as always, even though as usual the DSS prevented me from entering the courtroom. But I'm a living witness to history. The first time my Mazda was abducted from Kenya and brought here, I was in court to warn them that, in fact, I was one of the few people that came here as soon as they did their kangaroo arraignment, that this case is not going anywhere and that there's no way, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it's going to end up the way it started, as nothing, and it will end up as nothing, because there's nothing that can stand up on nothing. The foundation of this was malice. It was the suppression of a section of Nigerian people and the violation of the fundamental right of a Nigerian British citizen who was abducted from another country, brought here without due process and detained indefinitely, even presented from having open and fair trial, which we have seen all over the time. As a matter of fact, today we already had a notification with the DSS preventing people from moving around here. But you know, they started by blocking everywhere. Now they are tired, they can't even block half of the road because you cannot stop an idea whose time has come. And this is what we have won them. And I'm glad that they are reaching the dead end that we have predicted. The dead end is that there will be a no case submission. In fact, I would have an issue with the lawyers if I were to be involved, because there's no need to even file a no case submission in a case that never existed in the first place. But you have to do your own legal work. And let me use this opportunity to also appreciate all the lawyers and all the people who have stood in solidarity with NNAMDI KANU. I said it that if I'm the last person that will stand with him, I'll stand with him. And mine is not political.
Yes.
In fact, the most unpopular political decision to take in Nigeria is to stand with NNAMDI KANU. So if you want to win election, you know who to stand with, which is the federal government.
Yes.
But I'm not doing this to win election. I'm doing it for the freedom of our people everywhere we might find ourselves. And I believe that if Nigeria is going to become one, it has to be on the basis of justice. You cannot be suppressing a section just as the right to flourish and think that you can go home to rest. And you have seen it now. Even those people who never believed NNAMDI KANU a few years ago, They have seen it with what the Fulani herdsmen are doing, killing hundreds of people. They are doing it also in the southeast. They killed in Ebonyi, they killed in Enugu, they are killing in Edo, they are killing in Kogi, they are killing people across the country. Imo, yes, there were some killings. So this was what NNAMDI KANU told you as a prophet. But he has always told me, when I met him in New York, that he's not a prophet. He's just saying the reality of what the Nigerian project is all about. That it was a fake project put together and it can never materialize until there's justice. And this is what we keep advising them. The interesting thing was that there was even a time in 2019 that they charged me secretly with him. I filed a charge here that I connived with him to kill some policemen. So the case never came to trial, and it will never be. So we can't wait to see NNAMDI KANU rejoin all of us. And I'm very certain that will happen.
Sure.
It's just a matter of time.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter how long they do their case, which I never believed in, by the way. It has come to a situation where everybody has come to the understanding that there was no case, and the case will finally fall apart officially very soon. Thank you guys.
My name is NNAMDI KANU, and the reason why we're here today is to protest the killing of innocent women and children, and men for that matter, all over Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. We are not happy, we are not pleased with what is happening, and that is why we're here today. As you can see, there are a lot of Nigerians who are protesting about the killing of families, people who are determined to tear the country apart violently, and it is not something that we support. It is not something that we would like to see continue, and we are here today to send a clear message to the Nigerian government through the High Commissioner that what is happening in the country is unacceptable and we cannot accept it. If that continues, it will lead to the violent disintegration of the country. There will be no more Nigeria for anyone to go to. There will be no Nigeria for anyone to refer to. In fact, what is happening in Somalia today will be like a tea party. So we cannot allow this nonsense to continue. Something has to be done, and the consequences of the actions of terrorism in Nigeria must be driven home to the people, so that even the terrorists themselves will be able to understand that there is no mileage in where they're going. The only thing they can accomplish is the breakup of Nigeria. If they think that they can cower people, if they think they can force people to be coerced into a religion which is not theirs, then they are clearly mistaken. We are asking for peace, we are asking for people to get together, we are asking for everybody who loves Nigeria, who is associated with that country, to please prevail upon terrorism in Nigeria so we can bring it to an end. That is why a multitude of Nigerians are gathered here today. Those of us in the UK are determined to work with the government for peace. We are determined to work with the Council Committee for peace. The one thing we cannot stomach is a repeat of 1966. What is happening today in Nigeria was the reason why Nigeria fought a bitter civil war for 3 years between 1967 and 1970. If this continues, there will be another civil war in Nigeria. And this time around, no place will be safe in Nigeria. This time around, nobody will be safe in Nigeria. So it is imperative that everybody who has the interest of the country at heart acts now and immediately to stop this nonsense from continuing.
That's nearly 13 years ago. when they joined others to raise awareness on the killings that we are talking about 13 years after, which has even gone worse. It's become worse. So their intention is not to try NNAMDI KANU because they've got no case against him other than the media trial and then the indefinite means of keeping him. His health is deteriorating. He needs access to proper health check, health care. But no, they had to go to court to go and discuss that. And then the court has been playing, they have been playing hide and seek with the court. And eventually the court will reconvene next week and probably will tell us that NNAMDI KANU is fine with the DSS. And this whole thing, this whole drama of missing report of DSS denying him access to proper medical care, denying him access to his own personal physician, denying an external physician who they also brought to come and check him. And even when they allowed them, and their check and their report was that he will be better off in a better hospital, like a proper hospital, okay, where he could be examined and, they still denied all of that. For years, they have been denying that until this moment when they had to order for a retrial. So the first person to respond to this call for let everybody who cares for justice and inside that country join Omoyele Sowore and lead this march of governors, politicians, and the rest of them to make a demand for the release of NNAMDI KANU. Because the whole thing is pure persecution. And it has lasted this long simply because he's an Igbo man. Don't let anybody try to sugarcoat it for you. Inside that same Nigeria, you are seeing state governors whose states have been under endless attacks, killings in the hands of these terrorists. You see the same state governors calling meetings and telling Nigerian military not to use force on these murderers, on these killers, these terrorists. Nigerian governors. The president of the country, Teknumbu, was telling the victims of Fulani terrorist attack in Yelwata, if you remember, where over 300 people were killed, women and children, right? The president of the country went there and told these victims that they have enough land. There is love in sharing. They should give a portion of it for their murderers, for their killers. It's the country where they will tell you that NNAMDI KANU is the most dangerous, and you are comfortably typing that on your phone because you are seeing the carnage caused by their politically sponsored terrorists in the eastern part of Nigeria. Because it matches, right? I mean, it fits. It needs something. It's like throwing everything at somebody and hoping that something will stick. Like some people wish that Omoyele Sowore should be shot and killed. Because to them, he cannot be trusted. There are people that will hate you that much. You've done nothing other than just because you choose something that they probably disagree with, right? And then the next thing, they want you dead. So every information that can justify any brutality, any human rights abuses against you, they will justify it. They will say you are lucky. I've had soldiers, I've had police threaten NNAMDI KANU, threaten Omoyele Sowore, threatening people who are supposed to be police officers, military, making videos, threatening these guys because they feel so enraged. How dare them talk like that? How dare them act like this? Then ignore all of the expose they're actually making, all the eye-opening information that should ordinarily get, even if you are not angry, it should get you thinking. They will ignore all of that and they focus straight on the personality of that person. What can we do? Can we do to show him? We need to teach him a lesson. And some are telling you that watch your mouth. Be careful. Hey, be careful. These people, they want to kill you. And if I were you, I would just keep my mouth shut. Instead of you to go and enjoy your family and the rest of that. Those ones are the simple, the group that is there to disarm you, neutralize you. But you are stubborn, so you're still going to do what you're going to do. Then another group is the ones that are going to say, they will show you, right? Including the ones that will tell you that if you are not in Nigeria, they will say, why don't you come to Nigeria? If you are in Nigeria, they will say, oh, the reason why they have not arrested you is because you are working for government. And when they see the same government brutalizes you, like nearly kill you, they will say, why didn't they kill him? His own is too much. They're supposed to kill him. That's the story of most of these guys. That some of you you hated them so much, but you have no idea, no real explanation why. Other than what they've succeeded in putting in your head, in your head. That's what we call head in Scotland. Say your head. Who was Urike? Who was also years back an advocate. It still says I is still an advocate for the creation of the Republic of Biafra. Nwazurike, who also was at loggerhead with Mazi NNAMDI KANU, for those of you who can remember, which many said that it was because he was jealous of other stuff. And he was like, no, I set up the Radio Biafra. I was the one who told NNAMDI KANU to. Anyway, long story short, there was a time when he used to be an advocate of something, I would teach him a lesson. I would teach him a lesson. But these days, he has somehow retraced his own step, and he said, well, it's true. Like, no matter what anybody does, even if they do anything to kill NNAMDI KANU or shut him up or whatever, if they succeed, that is going to create even more NNAMDI KANUs. But if it is for everybody in the eastern part of Nigeria to march down to Abuja for NNAMDI KANU, it would be glad to join the convoy or join the cavalry. Nwazurike, you remember him? Ralph Nwazurike. He's been arrested too. He's been jailed in the name of this Biafra agitation. And at the point, I think he just retired. It's the same.
I've listened to the court appearance of NNAMDI KANU today, and listened to the representations made by his lawyers, and which to say that I want to be part of any peaceful demonstration in Abuja or anywhere in Nigeria for the release of NNAMDI KANU. I personally reached out to Barrister Lloyd Jumako long ago, telling him that I would want to be one of the witnesses, defense witnesses to NNAMDI KANU. Recently, just about last week, I reminded him of my desire to be one of the defense witnesses to Martin NNAMDI KANU. You can ask Aloy Jimako. I told him. So, for this new development, I want to be part of it. I'm ready to go to Abuja or any part of Nigeria where such demonstrations will take place. I will be part of it, provided it is anchored on non-violence, peaceful protest. I will be there, and I mean it. I will personally be there. This is not all about NNAMDI KANU. This is about Ndibo. If anybody thinks that NNAMDI KANU is being humiliated today, no. It's Ndibo that are being humiliated. It's not about NNAMDI KANU. There's nothing like terrorism, this and that. Nothing like that. When my men were being killed in the streets of Southeast, were they terrorists? What did they do? When NNAMDI KANU, when Maiyegun was declared to be arrested by DSS, simply because he said he supported Nwazurike. He was given a one-way ticket, economy class, to Abuja. What did he do? It was just to humiliate Ndibo by commanding our leader, Maiyegun, to proceed to Abuja on a one-way ticket, economy class. So all these things, I know them very well. It has got nothing to do with NNAMDI KANU. It has to do with Ndibo. To tell us that we don't matter in Nigeria and that we could be treated anyhow. If you talk of terrorism charge or whatever, how can you be negotiating with terrorists from another tribe, one tribe, and keeping into prison terrorists from another tribe? That's the justice. So it has nothing to do with NNAMDI KANU. It has to do with the injustice rooted in Nigeria against Ndibo. That is why I will be there. That's why I will be there. It could be anybody else. It could be anybody else. It has nothing to do with NNAMDI KANU, terrorism, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. It has everything to do with Ndibo. The situation of Ndibo in Nigeria, the humiliation of Ndibo in Nigeria, and everybody is affected. We have to do this because of the future of our children. I will be there. Thank you.
Onye du iPod, o meriwo n'izu onire ya, abakare, mama bawora. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, na Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, na Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Nnamdi bụ onye du aịbọ. O meriwo n'izu mbiro ya. Abakare Mamanda ụra. Una boli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, na Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, na Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, na Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, na Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Nnamdi.
So Python dance 2 and Python dance 3. Nnamdi win the war. That's one Zurich. In what is believed to have been an olive, sort of like an olive branch, being passed on. Because Zurich himself had been accused of being a sellout in the struggle for Biafra. Something that has caused clashes in the past, exchange of wars and all that. So seeing him, sharing a solidarity and even making reference to the reality that we are all in, right? So the systemic Cold War against the Igbos in Nigeria is not something that everybody is just getting to know. What a lot have been trying to do is to downplay it. In fact, some are saying if the Igbos are complaining of marginalization in Nigeria, there is no part of Nigeria that is not marginalized today. Now, if that is the case, then every part of Nigeria should be doing what NNAMDI KANU is doing, which is waking their people up, letting them realize that whatever it is they are going through is predetermined, it is intentional, and therefore it's up to them if they want to keep it up that way or they want something different. Message, as they say, microphone that is more powerful than AK-47. Imagine that. Microphone. Oh, Prince JJ Man calls mine to Kano mic, where people who have all the power, people who have all the resources, the cloud, are somehow, shaken to their own core by just somebody who has microphone, just to pass a message that they considered as inciting, a message that they considered that it's so truthful that it will harm the fake contraption they put together. So if the Igbos can be like the rest of Nigeria, here is another thing. If the Igbos can be like the rest of Nigeria, who knows that they are all marginalized by these rogues, and they continue to speak out, like NNAMDI KANU, that they might want to do it, right? If you have been listening to him very much, right, you're likely going to understand why some of the Igbo elite, Igbo politicians, and all of them despise him. As much as some people want to believe that they are secretly supporting of no, they are not. In fact, they will do everything to make sure that they crush him. It's because if you listen to NNAMDI KANU, when they start describing these Igbo, we call them Igbo Efulefus, all these intellectuals, all these Igbo, the Igbo pygmies in Nigeria, that despite the fact that they have friends who are from other parts of Nigeria in their elite club, yet they still have to keep their mouth shut when they see the way they are using the system to ostracize the Igbos, to target them, target their businesses and all of that stuff. The Igbos there, who are like the Igbo Nigeria, right, who want to deny all of that because all they have to do is to deny it and even help them carry such, atrocities out on their own people with the reward for power. So they'll be governors, they'll be senators, they will have money, And all the whole Nigeria is to deny any of this happening or downplay it or even blame themselves, blame their people. So our people are they are not tolerant. Our people are not receptive. Our people need to learn how to build bridges across Nigeria. Igbos will be saying that to Igbos. These are the Igbo Nigerians who are going to say, you are right. The Igbos are so and so. Eh? And then you see these Igbos, they will say, well, my brother, you are right, Jare. That is true. That's the problem of my people. My people, they love to, these are the Igbos who just wanted to be kind of like, loved. That's the way I see it. They will say they were saying the truth, denying the obvious. And then even in the process, they still watch themselves be so disrespected. You get that now? But that is not even enough. Because those they are trying to kind of like befriend in this sense, still treats them suspiciously. So if an ordinary Igbo person or anybody from any part of Nigeria comes to that part, the moment of reality, or moment of discovery or self-discovery, when you discover that, this is who I am, or in this whole scheme of things, I don't belong here, right? So you begin to advocate for, you know what, let's opt out, or we renegotiate this arrangement. That doesn't require any violence. But what happens is that if anything, the way they have done Nigeria right now, so if anything by any means should alter the status quo, it's going to be like a domino. Nigeria is going to be like this domino card or pack, yeah? Once you remove this one, everything will just be like, if they allow these Biafrans and the Igbos advocacy to, which is legit, by the way. So if they decide not to criminalize it and let it just flow, you'll get to a stage whereby it will be put on the ballot that people should decide what they want. And if it gets to that stage, the moment you remove the Igbo card from this Nigeria arrangement, you realize that so many other cards will begin to fall apart. Everybody will begin to ask for their own space. You know what? We need our own space too. We need our own space too. Their worst fear, the reason why they continue to criminalize self-determination, even though they have all the resources to actually kill it. The only way to kill self-determination, not kill it, to subdue, the self-determination advocacy in Nigeria is, number one, to have this national conversation where everybody would have to actually agree to still want to be part of this Nigeria. Under what arrangements? Who wants Sharia? Who don't want Sharia? Who want this form of, you know what I mean? Like, decide. And then ensure that people actually have access to their own resources, which means they benefit from their God-given resources. Not the one that is feeding just a minute few, the 1%, no. So when you have this wealth redistribution in a way that people don't have to blame other people for their own backwardness or their own shortcomings, right? That will be the time that you're likely going to kill the idea of breaking up Nigeria. But you see the way it is going right now, which is the turn-by-turn Nigeria Limited, it is going to get to that point where those who are using the iron fists to hold everything together, send DSS, shoot everybody, gun them down, kidnap that one, they will lose all of that control, of that power over the people. And when it gets to that stage, in fact, have you seen what is called controlled demolition before? You should have. There are videos when they are demolishing this, when they want to demolish a massive buildings like that, big buildings, And then they will put all these, systemically, they will put all these dynamite inside each pillar, building everywhere, and then it's all connected. And then once you press the button, you just say, boom! Everything will collapse just right in the center. That is what allowing, or should I say, that is what decriminalizing self-determination means. Where everybody can easily, peacefully, if it gets to that stage, go their separate ways, peacefully, no fight, no nothing. But when you see, have you seen a building that collapsed? Like, Do you know the chaos? The entire people getting trapped inside, the death and all of that stuff. If they continue with what they are doing, we're going to wake up one morning, and it's just going to be not El Dorado. Are you with me? It's going to be, gosh, the opposite of that. So, E82, dear brother, thank you very much for your super chat. And at the same time, Libabs, Baba, thank you. Olododo kì í ní ẹni, ẹnìgbò olódodo kì í ní ẹni, olódodo kò ní kú sí ipò ìkà. Àwa alábòsí, gbogbo wọn ni yóò fara gba ẹ̀gbà láìpẹ́ ọjọ́. Ẹ ó jẹ kísà níyà. Ìyẹn tún dàbí ìgbà tẹ́kẹ́ bàbá èyí kan tún lọ mix Haruna Ìṣọ̀lá mọ́ Yusuf Olatunji mọ́ this other one, Ayinla Ọmọwúrà. So those of you who don't understand Yoruba, by the way, so the other message simply stated, right, is that, the honest man barely have friends. You get that now? An honest man barely have friends, or relative, because nobody wants to be friends with a very honest man. You get that down? So, and they said, and he also said in that message that a truthful man, which is also like an honest man, won't die in the backyard of the wicked, no matter how bad. It's Yoruba say, like, no matter how bad it is for a very honest and good person, they will not die in the backyard of the wicked, which means no matter how the wicked tried, okay, to strangulate and squeeze life out of a good person, they won't succeed eventually, right? So every one of them will eventually get what is coming for them. That's the part very soon. And how do I interpret that, Libabs? Like they go chop beating, they go chop beating, like that, kind of like a shege. Like never before. Now let's go to the National Assembly back again today. There is this senator from Kirby who openly on the floor of the Senate of Nigeria pleading with the government of Nigeria and listen, please forget about schools, forget about roads, just protect our lives. We have lost everything. We are dying. Save us. And there is another person called Karimi. He's also a senator from Kogi West or something like that. And from that his own constituency, is it constituency or district? Senatorial district, Yagba West, a local government in that part, has been completely overrun by this Fulani terrorist. But to him, talking about the killings and all of that in Nigeria is being sponsored by some people, as usual. And they are sponsoring it because of 2027. They want to use this insecurity to chase APC away in 2027. Do you see that reverse psychology? First, the senator begging for their lives, and they are ready to trade roads, schools, just to be alive, just save our life. President.
Today they will tell us they are here, tomorrow they are here. Everybody knows within our area, but we will not see any action taking place. That is to say, sir, we need this Senate to tell the armed forces to be reporting progress every week so that state by state, otherwise it will be a mess of all issues and we will not be seeing progress. Sir, I beg you that time is right now, that this problem is solvable. We have seen progress. We should not allow this progress to be derailed. We should pursue this remnant of these people so that our next election can be peaceful and sustainable. And we have something to sell to our people, sir. This is the only thing I want to take. If I get protected in my environment, please keep your roads, keep your schools. We just want to be safe. And that is the message we are sending to the Senate President. Please save our life and our people. We are not bothered about roads now or schools. Please. save our lives. Our people's lives are in danger. Thank you very much, sir.
Senator.
At the National Assembly of Nigeria, a senator from the troubled zone, one of the troubled states in Nigeria, said his own people are sending messages and that they don't, please keep your school, keep your roads. Just keep us safe, because these guys, we know where they are. They always tell us where they are going to be. And when they carry out all these attacks, we don't see government, we don't see anybody. Now, it's just, I mean, it's only people who are like alive will use your road and they will go to school. So we need to be alive before we can use road. So forget it. So they are trading that, just so you know how important their own lives have become under APC. APC that normalized, legitimized terrorism, prosecuting, activists, but partying with terrorists. The guy that moved the motion for the petition to stop El Rufai from becoming the minister under Tifnumbu, his name is Karimi. He's from Kogi State. Now, Karimi has been quiet a while, well, simply because they were on recess, so to say. But 2.5 years ago, or nearly, it was Karimi who moved the motion to say the petition that they got from Kaduna against El Rufai because of his relationship, his connection to the insecurity in Kaduna. It was that petition they used in disqualifying El Rufai, and then they sort of like cleared Uche Naji, the one that forged his academic credentials. Anyway, Karimi is from a place where the terrorists they've already built their kingdoms. Most members of his own senatorial districts have had one or more sad experiences in the hands of these terrorists. And I think I've had him speak on that on their Senate before. So this conversation around the blaspheming law, as well as the jihadist genocide against the Christians in Nigeria, which is gaining serious momentum right now. Okay, so it was part of their conversation. So that was why that guy from Kebbi rose up and said, well, yeah, I'm not interested in all this, they are doing agenda. I am from Kebbi. My people are no longer staying in their homes. Okay, those who are still staying in their homes can't go to their farms anymore. So can we please do something about that? But not for Karimi. So Karimi, it's about politics. Okay, so he said this insecurity that is going on in Nigeria, that he believes that some people are behind it, and they are doing it right now because of 2027, so that they can use this insecurity. He said they did it in 2015. Do you understand? Like, he said in 2015, this was almost the same pattern that they used in chasing Goodluck Egbere Jonathan away. So make the oaths come be like the case of a chicken farmer who married a beautiful woman. This beautiful woman started seeing a goat seller. So, and the goat seller want to marry this beautiful wife of the chicken farmer. So how can they do it now? So the wife said, you know what? If he can come in the middle of the night and just disturb the chicken barn, if he hears the chicken cry or, kind of like make sounds or noise, he's going to come out, so then kill him. So that's exactly what they did. And the wife went on to marry the goat farmer, rather. So the goat farmer, is it called Reverend, right? He was like enjoying his new bride when this new bride met the cow farmer, the cow herder. Now, how would they get rid of this goat farmer so that this woman can go and marry the cow herder? So she showed them the same idea. She said, you know what? In the middle of the night, why don't you just come, they stop the ban. Okay, they stop the ban, and once he hears the scream of his goat, he's going to come out. And once he comes out, kill him, and I'll come and marry you. So truly, in the middle of the night, they started disturbing the ban. As the goat farmer was like about to get up to quickly go out, what's going on? What is wrong with my goats? He just remembered, like, wait. Ikú tó pẹ́ lẹ́dìyẹ ṣó gbọ́dọ̀ tún pè léwúrẹ́. Ikú tó pẹ́ lẹ́dìyẹ kò gbọ́dọ̀ tún pè léwúrẹ́. Simply put us, right? Should I die the way the chicken farmer died? Because that's how we kill the chicken farmer. If I go out there now, they will kill me. And my wife will go and marry somebody else. No, it's not going to happen. So Karimi is practically saying, they brought terrorists to the border of Nigeria. They weaponized the terrorism so bad, so much that these guys became almost like they are not humans. We witnessed all of this. They weaponized it. They got America involved. America weaponized it. It became a thing. It was just like a year and a half or so to election, just like this. And there is a coalition. Back then, it wasn't like this coalition. Okay, they are doing coalition back then too, when they wanted to create a PC. So they weaponized the insecurity, blamed the government for not being able to stop it. And where the government was actually killing the terrorists, they said the government is killing civilians. So it's using weapons to kill civilians. America shouldn't sell weapons to Nigeria anymore. And America did. They stopped. So in all of that, it can't don't they give Karimi PTSD, like, wait, this is 2025, election now 2027. This insecurity now, as usual, like Jonathan did too. So to Jonathan, as president, right, he forgot that he had such power to actually not only to crush the terrorist, but to arrest their sponsor. But if he did, it was going to hit up this the system, or the polity rather. It's going to hit up the polity. He couldn't do that then, so he ignored. So they built on that. So right now, the terrorists are killing Nigerians. Politicians are saying some people are behind it, but these some people will not be arrested. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like Karimi is about to tell us now. Some people are the ones doing these things, and now they are working with America to push agenda. We must make sure that we tell everybody that there is nothing like that in Nigeria. From somebody who is from a senatorial district, that the terrorists have had their own ungoverned area plenty, for Yagba West, Yagba North, Abina, Yagba South. All this Kogi is always in the news. But people like Karimi will just kind of like create spectacle, talk, go on and on, create things in their warped mind and believe the nonsense they create because they believe that millions of people are going to have access to that same thing they are saying. Stupid as they sound, but it's the confidence of saying it. I want us to listen. I'm serious.
My colleagues, my name is Karimi Sunday Steve. I represent the people of Kogi West. Mr. President, my colleagues, I want to thank the leader, the deputy leader for bringing this motion. The axis bordering Kwara South Senatorial District, Kogi West, and Niger State has become the axis of evil for these criminal elements. Mr. President, in the last 6 months, our people have been under attacks every day. Kidnapping, killing, and looting. In fact, a part of my senatorial district, every part of my senatorial district All local governments in my senatorial district has been attacked by these people. And they even took over some communities. In fact, one of the commissioners that traveled with my governor to the affected area called me yesterday and said, you know they have taken over these communities. They did not only take over, our people fled from those communities, and they came, broke down their homes and took over their homes. That is the situation we find ourselves. Mr. President, one of those guys that was kidnapped and was with the bandit for months, when he was released, he made a statement. It's all over the social media that the leaders, one of the leaders of the bandits said, your senator, he built barrack for soldiers to attack us. Yes, I built barracks, which I financed privately. It cost me a lot of money just to ensure security of that environment. They said, go and tell him with his barrack and his soldiers, we are waiting and looking for them. That we have generals in the field here. Mr. President, we got to do something about it. Yes, the federal government is trying. They are planning to set up the forest guard. It's a noble move. But we need to do something urgently. Some people are benefiting from this criminality. They may also be planning because they know that they are losing the election already. You know, during 2023 election, some people plan and already brought criminal elements to Nigeria in anticipation that they are going to lose election and that Jonathan will not. No, that was 2015. That Jonathan will not, 2019 I mean to say, will not leave government. But we thank God he left voluntarily. That was 2015. Yeah. Those same people, Mr. President, they are aware that Nigerians, they are now realizing that the good work that President Tinubu is doing and that their plan to stop him, they are not going to succeed. I guess they are resorting into violence. They are resorting into causing mayhem, and we got to move fast and stop them because they are definitely going to lose the election, and we will not allow them to bring this country down because of their selfish ambition. Our people are suffering, and we got to do something promptly. Thank you, sir.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Did you see the confidence with which he admitted that these terrorists have taken over his community? Right? He is aware that some people, that's how the Nigerian politicians talk. You will see with that some people at the weddings of their children, when there is, you know what I mean now, when they are not trying to create that kind of spectacle. Yeah, there are some people. So if you have some people who brought in terrorists to Nigeria, is that not APC? Was it not APC that brought terrorists to Nigeria because they believed that if Jonathan failed to admit, to accept defeat or something, that they will overrun Nigeria? They've admitted to that. Baraji, Abina Bugaji, and some of these guys who are aware of this arrangement, they've come out to say something about it, but nobody is arrested. Nobody has been arrested for it. People are being killed right now. The sponsor of the terrorism in Nigeria, they are politicians and they know themselves. So here is the thing. If you know somebody who's sponsoring these terrorists, causing these ruins and destructions, right, that you yourself have sort of acknowledged, what is the right thing to do? Is it to gloat about it? Or is it telling me and you to then go and pick this some people? And then he quickly twisted it to his own advantage. They said because I built barracks for army, and that is why they have decided to be attacking my people. Baba, you built barracks for the army. Do you understand what a barrack is? At least Obembe Kobembe, they go still give you 1 battalion. And how many soldiers they 1 battalion? Guys, 150? 1,500? I'm sorry, I'm not sure. But if they give you 1 battalion of soldiers, that's something that should be at least make some level of difference. Number one, that means they are there. If the terrorists, if they are attacking, they can repel them while they call for backup. In fact, they are there means if there is any attack, the command center will hear it first. That is why you have a barrack, Javi. Oh, Nagenje. So he said they want to use it for election. You get that now? They want to use it, and the election they will lose. That means he knows them. But like that song, carry me, Abi carry me. Carry me in Yoruba is somebody who is a cloud chaser. In today's words, right? They call you a cloud chaser. Carry me. Okay, somebody that just wants everybody to see him. Do you get that now? When they wear new shirt. Now you go come notice here. Like, this is your shirt now, new one. The way you they touch them, all this while, I say, yeah, now you don't know say na just say Gabbana. Na Afari Kokoku. I'm wearing. It's not easy, you know that carry me. People love carry me. Show off. That's it. Show off. You know? That's his name. So carry me is trying to remind everybody that song I sang earlier. No, it's actually going to be a question. So meaning it is either you are dealing with these mentally deranged criminals in suits and barbariga, because if he's talking about those who brought in terrorists to the borders of Nigeria ahead of election in 2015, that would be APC, Egbekegbe. And they are unable to control the terrorists they brought to Nigeria, so they just turned them to an industry where they are now teaching Nigerians on how to just learn. You need to learn how to live with your neighbors. They are not my neighbors. I don't get bothered with Fulani. You don't get. So why should I now be sharing my land with Fulanis so that I can have peace? It don't make sense. The government should not even be giving me options. If Nigeria is a place that they respect my fundamental human rights, citizenship right, and every other right shall guaranteed my existence in that place. A Fulani from Futagalon, you be Futajalon, Futa sadness, you be Futa sorrow. All these Sahelians and all these, desert terrorists coming down straight to Yoruba land to now give me conditions if I want peace. I mean, I have been disarmed by my country. I can't carry my own arms and then I defend myself. Do you get what I mean? So that is now the job of my own government. So if my government is now telling me to go and learn karate, and then in order to face this war weapon carrying terrorists, then something is wrong, something is amiss. And that's exactly what is the problem here. So the Caribbean, the rest of them should, if they know the names, you get what I mean? If they know the names of these people who want to destroy Nigeria because of election, I don't think anybody should give a damn about who they are. The thing is that they should not be walking free. They shouldn't. But the thing is that They are all in on it, unfortunately. Meanwhile, this afternoon, right, Akpabioli received a copy of Tifnumbu's loan request, the one that they sent to the House of Representatives, I think yesterday when they resumed, right? So it's been sent to Akpabioli now. So don't call it 2.38 billion anymore. It is 2.88 billion dollars. And that's the money Tifnumu want to borrow to pay off another loan. And they said they want to use the rest for the budget deficit. People wait to declare too much money. People who have declared that they are making more money now are now talking about the reason why they are borrowing is just to cover the budget deficit. What are you even like talking about, mate? Akpabioli.
To refinance maturing Eurobonds and to issue debut sovereign sukuk in the international capital market. The purpose of this letter is to seek a resolution of the Nigerian Senate pursuant to the provisions of Section 21, subsection 1 and 27, subsection 1 of the Debt Management Office Establishment, etc. Act 2003 to implement the new external borrowings of about 1,843,669,786,987 naira 16 kobo, equivalent of $1,229,113,000 United States dollars at the budget exchange rate of USD $1 to 1,500 naira. In the 2025 Appropriation Act for the part financing of the deficit in the 2025 budget. This refinance will mature on November 21, 2025. Access aggregate external capital of USD 2.3 billion, USD 1.2 billion actually, and another USD 1.1 billion through any of the following options in the international capital market: issuance of Eurobonds, loan syndications, bridge finance facility from book runners, and direct borrowing from international financial institutions. Issue a standalone debut sovereign sukuk of up to 500 million euros in the ICM with or without credit enhancement. Enhancement in this case refers to guarantee. It's quite long, but I'm sure the committee will go through all. It includes the indicative terms and conditions for external capital borrowings, issuance of standalone debut. Conclusion. Based on the foregoing, I respectfully request the distinguished Senate to pass a resolution: 1. To raise external capital in the sum of $2.3 billion, comprising new external borrowing in the 2025 Appropriation Act, USD 1.2 billion, and refinancing of maturing Eurobonds of $1.1 billion through any of the following options: through the Eurobonds, bridge finance facility from book runners, loan syndication, direct borrowing from international financial institutions. Finally, to issue a debut standalone sovereign sukuk of up to $500 million, with or without credit enhancement from the Islamic Cooperation for the issuance of investment and export credit. A specimen of the resolutions required is attached to these annexures. While I look forward to the timely issuance of the resolutions by the Senate, please accept, distinguished Senate President and distinguished Senators, the assurances of my highest regards. This is signed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, with the attachments, this is referred to the Committee on Local and Foreign Debts to revert to the Senate. Do I give time?
We are a poor nation. The bank coal will follow. They say firewood, not smoke. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, try shining, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. They'll do it.
They'll do it. According to Kolu. I don't know how many of you who paid attention to what Akpabiole was reading. It was just too long for him. He just wanted to get to the conclusion part, right? To tell everybody how much money they need to approve now. Isn't it like, I wanted to say, isn't it ironical? I'm like, no, isn't it fraudulent that this guy is appearing on your TV every now and then to tell you how much Tinubu's reform has improved revenue generation to the point that even their projected revenue for 2025, they've met that at the end of August. That whatever they are making right now is just extra, which is good. Extra in the sense that, bro, right, we plan to raise 1 trillion naira. But can you believe that we have actually raised about 4 trillion naira? That's like times 4 of what we expected. We've met our budget, we've surpassed it. They kept saying that. But on the other hand, they are borrowing like there is actually no tomorrow. The conditions of the loans are not disclosed. The duration of the payment are not disclosed. But they continue to tell everyone that, oh, he has reduced the payment, what Nigeria is paying for debt. He has reduced it to 60%. And they want you to believe that. But there they are. And they're going to come back again and again and again. Because that same Akpabiole's Senate approved nearly $23 billion for Tinubu to borrow this year and next year. So then you ask yourself, where is the subsidy money? They say, oh, subsidy money is the reason why the state and the local government are getting more money now. Go and ask your governors. Okay, that means federal government is getting money too, because the federal government takes 51 or 52% of the whole money anyway, before they give the rest to them, to the others. So would you not be interested in what the federal government is doing with its own share too? Same way you would like to know what the states are doing with theirs, which is nothing. Tinubu is borrowing money and using the future generations' supposed commonwealth as collateral for today's loans that are not really investing, that will be productive for the generations to come. No, the generations to come will be born into poverty with these guys. So isn't that fraudulent? We are making more money here. And ordinarily that should reduce your borrowing. But it is not. So who is lying? And that is why all these numbers they are dishing out, all this number of inflation is coming down, prices in coin is coming, all this stuff, the confusion and all that, it's fraudulent. By the time everybody is going to open their eyes and realize what they have done, there's likely almost nothing left. There will be nothing left, by the way, for anybody to even want to hold in this contraption when these guys are done. I bet that's why this man believes that Tifnumbu, allowing Tifnumbu to waiting till 2027 to get rid of Tifnumbu itself is a crime against humanity. Not to talk of Tifnumbu spending another 4 years and all that. That's the way he feels, so this guy.
The performance of this government, as it affects me, an ordinary Nigerian, and you, and many others, the president pledged to hold this country together. But this country has become more divided than ever before, whereby now the campaign war cry is Buhari had done 8 years, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be given opportunity to do another 8 years.
Are you making reference to what Bayo Onanuga said?
Yes, I make a reference to what Bayo said, what Babangida Aliyu said, and what many others have said. If Buhari's government was a failure, this government of Bola Tinubu in 2 years is a disastrous catastrophe.
You mean it has overshadowed the 8 years?
Of course it has shadowed. It has failed in all ramifications. The country has regressed. These are personal opinions. They do not represent the regional sentiment. They do not represent the Nigerian evaluation of the government of Bola Tinubu within the last 2 years. The fear is that this government has shown incapacity to change the trajectory of its governance in the country as of today. And if it is allowed to go for the next 2 years, I'm sure the country will be bleeding in all spheres of life. The economy is bad, national cohesion is bad, ethnocentrism has been uplifted to the highest level, corruption has more than tripled, failure of government in security is ravaging the country, and it is very, very surprising that even people of repute who have spoken that this government should be allowed not only to conclude its 2 years, but for another 8 years. In their own states, there are local governments in their own states that are now under the absolute control of bandits. And it beats my imagination that people who directly have been affected will come on national television and say that it is only fair. Look, in 2003, all the governments in the Southwest endorsed President Olusegun Obasanjo.
This was 4 years after the return of democracy.
Yes. Tinubu led the vanguard to reject that. Obasanjo was a southerner like him. Obasanjo was from the Southwest like him. If what he did in 2003 to President Obasanjo was acceptable, what we are doing now should also be acceptable. And everybody will tell you that between the period 1999-2003, the administration of President Obasanjo had earned the trust of Nigerians.
Maybe because you are part of that government.
Well, everybody felt it. Everybody felt it. Everybody felt it. You know, the government impacted on its primary responsibility of providing protection to the lives and properties of Nigerians nationwide. The government was able to turn around the economy that was collapsing under the military administration. The divisiveness in the country, the polarity of the country then, because it was north-south, military, civilian, was overcome. But here are we, 25 years later. We are in a terrible mess where endorsements, contrived endorsements, is the order of the day, not performance of government. As of today, minimally, in the South, there are 10 ministers of key ministries, all from the Southwest. There are 3 ministers from the South-South. There are 2 ministers from the Southeast. Where is the balance, even in the South? Where is the balance to justify the
said Tifnubu's Emilio compile the way, and whatever it is that everybody is facing right now, directly or indirectly, everybody played their own role. Either whether you didn't push hard enough or you just didn't push at all or whatever, but here we are. So the coalition they are forming, right? They met, I think it was yesterday. They did meet yesterday. And their spokesperson, Bolaji Abdullahi, coming out of that meeting, right, at what I call the party resolution or something, talking about their intention for the 18th time, or now they intend to save you, rescue you from the iron grip of APC, Egbekegbe. They call it coalition.
And we thank you for your patience all day. Yeah, we know. So it's part of the work, you know. So we just want to say that we've just ended our first NWC meeting. One of the key conclusions of the meeting is the approval of 4 main committees. One of them is the Constitutional Review Committee to review the constitution of the party. The second one is the Policy and Manifesto Review Committee. The third one is the Membership Registration and Revalidation Committee. And the fourth one is the Party Rebranding Committee. So those are the 4 committees that the NWC has approved. The NWC also approved the dates for the Ekiti and Osun election primaries. The Ekiti primaries will take place between October 10 to November 20, I think, to November 20. And the Osun primaries between November and December. So during those periods, the primaries will take place. Those are the key decisions of the NWC for today's meeting. Is there a third one? Let me see. I'm trying to. Yeah. So the third decision I was taking is, as you know, many of the states, NWC, most of the states have perhaps only the state chairman in place. Now the NWC approved the transition operational guidelines that will run the affairs of the party in the various states ahead of the congresses that are coming up. So those are the key decisions that we're taking. So if you have any question or clarification, we'll be happy to answer. All right, thank you very much.
They are gearing up, you know, for some of these contests just ahead of the 2027. An update from SOWORE, by the way, which simply means that this week or next week could actually be a big thing in Nigeria for the release of Mazi NNAMDI KANU. So according to Omoyele Showore's current update, is that he's reached out to Alexoti, he's reached out to Soludumb, and he's also reached out to Atiku Abubakar. He's reached out to Peter Obi, and what he got back is that for Alexoti, he didn't pick his call, and he's yet to return his messages, right? For Peter Obi, you know, people closer to him told Showore that he's currently traveling, so they can't really get a hold of him, but they will pass his message across. To that of Atiku, it's similar as well. So which means that Showore is pretty much doing more than just the talk. He's walking the talk. So his intention, he also added, he said the Abia State House of Assembly, who kind of like declared yesterday that they would be staging a kind of like the whole of them as protests to Abuja, but they haven't really picked a time, but they have already said that they will be participating. So now generally this mobilization for collective demand for the release of NNAMDI KANU will be one of the biggest things that's going to happen next week, or maybe sooner than that. I just thought I should let you know. So who knows? Maybe NNAMDI KANU will be the one to put together all of these guys, even Showore, in their midst, and this may actually be the kickoff of the whole thing that will change the whole story of the entire things that we've ever seen since this APC Egbekegbe unleashed this terror system of governance on Nigeria. I just thought you should know, right? In Ilorin, Irete. Hey, is it called Irete? Okay, I'll find out now. There is this problem, by the way, of the pass. It won't be the first time. It won't be the second time. So a traditionalist was being sort of like assaulted on our own property by some Islamic acclaimed or alleged Islamic clerics, Afars, who are not really comfortable with our way of our traditional worship and all that, that they had to come to her to try to come and correct what they would. I mean, they are not comfortable with this, with that, and that, and that. And that led to these exchanges. You probably have seen the video. I've seen it for the past a few days, like 2-3 days. But I was trying to kind of get to understand the context. What was it all about? Now that I do know, I'm sharing with you now. Misunderstanding of, we know you are traditionalists, but we don't like you passing here. Go and pass another path. Don't come around the area. So what do you mean? Yeah? You are a tenant here, by the way. Like, why would you come here and begin to kind of tell us how we are going to like work and all that, you know? Because we don't like it, but we don't like all this fetish thing. They are ram, by the way, according to this guy. So they are kind of like holding their ground. No, but, you know, in this Niger, now everybody gets waiting the warrior. Okay, so if it is not the criminal leaders who are doing what they know how to do best, okay, which is manipulated the people, rob them, and still expect them to sing their praises. Yeah. But there are other things. For example, as everybody is worried about the state of the country, insecurity, you know, bad governance, corruption, you know, these things, man. No power, no nothing. Like all that stuff that worries you. I don't know what worries you, right? Somebody else has their own worries that when their prayer got answered, I hope prayers will be answered too. They had their own testimony in RCCG.
Praise the Lord. Praise the living Jesus. I want to thank God because He answered my prayers. He answered my prayers. For the past 3 months, I wake up every midnight to pray about certain things in my life. Asking God for my Instagram followers to at least reach 1,000 followers. For the past 5 years, it has been 600 followers. 5 years, I tell you. Because that is where I put my business, that is where I do my things. I've been asking God, God, do this for me. At least let me reach 1,000 followers. So, before yesterday, I made a post. And just yesterday, when I woke up, I saw that I've even passed 1,000 followers. God did it, I've passed 1,000 followers. And the second thing God did for me was, I've been praying to God to provide me a microphone for my content creation. And just last night, God did it to my darling husband. He just brought it up for me. I'm so grateful, God. I am so grateful. Thank you, Jesus.
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it's a successful again, a town hall, different from Blue Bulaba.
Everybody get it in the worry them. And if you come to think of it, right? In this day and time, right, where we have monetized pages, and you could reach, if you are into business, you could reach thousands of would-be customers if you have a very good kind of like a reach. So something that you have like a willy-nilly, easy peasy, is what somebody is praying for. We have somebody who is praying to say, ah man, I wish I just have 100,000 followers on Facebook. I look at this Maiyegun, his cover is, I don't think it's doesn't count anymore anyway. Do you get what I mean? And so I get it. That's why I said everybody get waiting, they worry them. You know, it's you that is doing dry fasting and prayer and all of that for something. Somebody is doing their own drying and fasting, dry fasting and prayer for Instagram followers. Because if it works well, who knows? That could take them out of poverty too. Just saying. And prayer, people like that will let you believe that prayer does get answered because they have their own testimony. And you would wish maybe the Edo people will need the same miracle this time. As Opeodoyo had already promised Tinubu 2.5 million votes of Edo people. But may they not die, you know, on this kind of like terrible roads that surrounds these 2.5 million voters. So if prayers does get answered, I think Edo people will need it.
Okpebolo busted. See, now the Edo line buses be this. They don't convert her to Tinubu buses. See, now Edo now be the first now when they see Tinubu 2027 campaign buses. You see, the 100 buses when they see they buy for Edo line. We here say Edo line only get passengers. We here say Edo line only get passengers. They don't turn the buses. They go to brand now to Tinubu campaign buses. I tell them now, say that Edo line buses, they just buy them. They want you to take campaign for Tinubu. C road, see Edo State road, C road. The man will just wake up, they lie, they do nonsense. Okpebolo is blank. Okpebolo is a cancer. Shame on this APC, Okpebolo Otagbogbo government.
Upper Mission Extension, Holy Small Rain, see River Okpebolo, Monday see your river, oh, River Okpebolo, Upper Mission Extension, everywhere flood, bad road everywhere. This is River Okpebolo. See, Edo is sinking. River Okpebolo at Upper Mission Extension. Edo is sinking. Oh, make una see am. Governor, see am. Everywhere, only small rain. See Upper Mission Extension. Only small rain. River Okpebolo.
Okpebolo busted. See, now the Edo line buses be this. They don't convert her to Tinubu buses. See, now Edo now be the first now when they see Tinubu 2027 campaign buses. You see, the 100 buses when they see they buy for Edo line. We here say Edo line only get passengers. We here say Edo line only get passengers. They don't turn the buses. They go to brand now to Tinubu campaign buses. I tell them now, say that Edo line bus.
Sorry, I had to kind of like take a leak. So that's why that got a little bit extended on repeat. So Edo needs that prayer, but you have to wait for their hired online trolls that will come and tell you that it's a federal road. Oh, that road is federal. This one, urban road. That one is a state. This one is this. And I'm like, are you guys not listening to yourselves? Do you have federal people? Eh? You are all Nigerians. And if you have any kind of this kind of a terrible infrastructures, the right thing to do is to mount pressure on your representatives, those that are closer to you, including your governor. But the reason why your governor should be going to Abuja should be because is there to drag them back to his state to come and fix whatever it is that is national property or whatever asset. But that's not what they do. They continue to gloss over, trivial issues, like gloss over them, make them look like they will construct a borehole and they will make it look like they've just built a water corporation. Rehabilitate 10-kilometer roads, right? And then they will make it look more or less like they've just constructed a brand new 1,000-kilometer roads. This is the character. So while they pretend that all these rods are not there, and they are so, they are so confident, right? That they will still be able to come to you and talk to you like, you know what? Don't worry, we'll do the road. Every 4 years, every election cycle, they point to this bad road, right? And then, of course, they rig themselves enough that you can't even stop them because your vote don't count. So some would prefer that moment, but they just like thought this whole thing like man to man. Have you ever felt like that before? We saw policemen do that.
Police Fight Police Part 2.
Police, like normally, now there's a normal thing now. And Nigerians will just form the circle around and they'll be watching. Officer, yeah, you go kill him, hey, officer, yeah, beat him. When they see two policemen fight, it's crazy. Nigeria. Well, let's round it up in Lagos, okay? Where Wahabi Wole was very busy the last few days from Maryland to Lekki. They have been going after what they call the illegal structures. Some on the camera. didn't even allow the guy to back from his barber shop. Anyway, that is us for tonight. So I want to say a big thank you to every one of you, the viewers, which is every one of you, the likers, those who are yet to like the broadcast, please do before you go, okay? The new subscribers as well, thank you. The likers, the commenters, the sharers, and even the super chatters. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening or your day. And I'm going to see you another time. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Maiyegun dáyàrí Politico. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dáyàrí Nayibi nọ́mbà 1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.